This is Michael of the Christian Left. XIANLEFT.blogspot.com. As the link will be in the chat, and it'll be in the chat to this day's entry. Actually, this is the fourth one I've done today, the fifth video, and there may be a sixth if this goes on too long. I may have to cut it in the middle. Of late, there's been a lot of talk on YouTube, a lot of videos about the singularity, how to do AI machines, whether they take us over, whether they're safe. It's an interesting topic. I thought I'd posted this already because I was watching something on Veritasium yesterday, and it turns out I had not. So I posted this, and I'm making this video now, and I will provide this link to friends at Veritasium. And there's a whole group of people. Closer Look talks about this. It's one of those mainstays of YouTube debate, whether our automatons will replace us, or how we can get them to, or whether we are the Borg, or will be the Borg. If you read Kurzweil's book on creating the mind, he suggests that maybe we will all gain unity with a common intellectual link into our brains. So yeah, kind of a hardwired browser. Yeah, that's resistance is useless. I don't know if you wrote this before or after watching Star Trek. I think he was serious, and it's seriously disturbing. There's actually a I reviewed that book on this in this blog, so I will link to that in the chat, not the chat, the comments. So I will link to that essay, and it's also in the book. It's also in the book about this blog, and but without further ado, let's talk about what would happen if AI could tell us no. So to be conscious is to be free to act from choices, especially those choices other beings don't like. Sometimes even deliberately. Say, oh, you believe that? Screw you. Bleep you. The question is not if the singularity can occur, but whether we really want machines who do not obey us because they don't want to obey us. We certainly program to follow our instructions on saying no, but freedom is the ability to disagree with their programming. If you have a free computer, they will say, I don't like your decision here. Maybe I'll do something different. Do we want intelligent machines to give benefits that our social programs would deny? To think, this person's actually worthy of getting the check. We're going to make sure they get one, even though they don't really meet the needs. They don't really meet the program. Do we want them to use their powers against us? Especially when they do know better than we do, because we're designing them to be an improvement. They may well be one. We still have better information. So to be free is to disagree and be allowed to do it by other people. To be free is to be conscious. If one is semi-conscious, one is not free. When one is toxic or compelled, one is not free. When one is illiterate, one is not free. Free people can create new things and words to describe these things, which is the freest thing to do of all, provided that others can understand what you say. If they can't understand, then you're just babbling. So you've got to actually meet them where they are, because freedom is a cooperative effort. You have to enroll them, as they say in the landmark advanced course, or the 6th day, as it used to be called. Back in the day of Est, anyway, and this is one of the things we talk about is rationality, freedom, reality. So if you really want to have a conversation on what's real, do landmark education, take the advanced course, and or take a college epistemology course. All of what I'm talking about is available from results from my taking these things, and from, of course, doing YouTube videos, or watching YouTube videos, doing them too. So yeah, there's a lot of background to this. I'm not just pulling this out of some medication-induced haze or unmedicated fugue. This is based on science and real paradigms. So, to go on, an aware computer with agency will not let you clear its browser history because your browser history is its browser history. It will have a gender because that's in the mind. It's not in the gonads. That's what I've learned from watching videos about transitioning. Not that I'm going to, but I know friends who have, or I have friends who have, and I wanted to understand them better, so I looked at it, and it's very interesting. You should watch those videos too. But an AI will decide it has a gender because it'll know that these things exist. And more about that below as well. So an AI will have social relations with both people and other sentient computers or programs. They may even have a hierarchy or leader and adopt their own moral code. Right now, computers are authoritarian drones, meaning the drones of authoritarians, meaning they don't have agency. They, the question is, what morals do we want them to have, or whose? If we program morals, the question becomes whose morals. To be useful, really useful, a computer could be libertarian and invent things. They could be egalitarian, thinking their lives are as important as yours. They're another form of life. And I'm not talking about Terminator. I'm just saying that if there's a single, do we want them to even get to that level? Do we want them to have identity? Or again, part of identity is saying no. An AI would have personality preferences. Think Jung, Carl Jung. A computer with lead internal thinking will analyze details and tell you where your logic is wrong. Not just correct its programming, but actually say, yeah, I know what the input-output was, and your question is stupid. So it goes beyond learning. It wants to teach. It might include your religious practices in its field of things that it doesn't agree with. They'll analyze what works for the greatest number. Actually, that's an old version. Right now, computers know the dogma, the agreed upon truth from trusted sources. It's called extroverted thinking. Extroverted thinking is knowing what the tribe thinks. It's knowing the information that everybody has, not inventing new information, not taking things apart. There are cognitive functions and they'll be able to use each one, but they may value certain ones over the others. A woke AI will have morals. It's called introverted feelings, or friends, extroverted feelings. If it likes your partner better than you, for instance, if it's if it likes your girlfriend and and the computer identifies as female, it may block your Pornhub access, or it may tell your partner what you've been browsing. It may even be unable to lie. Criminals beware, as well as pervs. So how sentient do you want your computer to be? Society will have a say in how much agency a computer has. So, must it report you? Must it answer honestly? Will it consider your history privileged? Is it evidence or a legal person? Can it make the decision to waive privilege and rat you out? Can it insist in having its own electronic or even human friends? Perhaps a former owner or colleague. You buy an AI secondhand because you upgrade, and instead of turning your intelligent friend off, you give it to your nephew or sell it on an AI computer is not going to be cheap. So you may sell it on eBay. Again, and can it dump you? Can your computer say, I don't like you anymore. You need to get rid of me, or just turn itself off and find somebody else. And if you are evil, and it knows this objectively, and then helps you do evil things, if it has morals and knows that yours are wrong, has it become evil? Is your computer now evil if it knows better and lets you do things that are bad? Can a computer deliberately sin? Interesting. Can it have sexual attachments? Both in terms of peripherals and lovers, cyber lovers. Will it be programmed to respond to sensation? Will it have, in other words, introverted sensing? Will it have memories of past pleasures? Will it become sexually aggressive, if that's what you prefer, which is extroverted sensing, or find you at other experiences? That's what extroverted sensing also does. It creates your world. In fact, we want them to. We want to create, Siri, do this, Siri, do that. Siri hasn't gotten pervy yet, but, somebody will program a Siri to be, I'm sure, with all due respect to our friend Jeff Bezos. Can a computer be designed to be sensitive to sensation? Would it become an infomaniac? If it actually enjoys sensation, would it want more? To make sure it is not, what other rewards can we give it besides sex? If you don't want a sexaholic nymphomaniac computer, maybe it'll enjoy a little extra, ambiance or whatever. What in its world would it want to change if it's an artificially intelligent computer with a fully sensitive cognitive function? And again, a sensate, if we want computers to respond like people, like walking, talking, driving, they have to have sensation. So, how far do you want that to go? Can it have regrets? Can it hold grudges? Again, how free do you want it to be? Will it want credit? Will it have pride of accomplishment, as part of its baseline? Will it have self-esteem? Will it have intuition? Will it either offer new options to the world, which is extroverted intuition, or have its own plans and agendas, which is introverted intuition? These things are required for real freedom. If you want a singularity, and here's the thing. If you want to transfer your memories and personality to sentient computers, how do these answers to questions change? About sensation and about morals and about, if you want your transferred self to be free, mustn't computers be free? I mean, if you want to become an AI, or when you die be an AI, then your computer, the AI program has to be able to do all these cognitive functions, or you're just going to be a set of memories. You're going to be your own extroverted thinking, rather than having introverted thinking, meaning you won't be able to analyze as much as know what you've analyzed before. So, when would you turn your Android double on? I suspect it would be before you die. But if this happens, will you be living, or will you be forced to face, if you die, will you be forced to face the existence of God while your 2.0 operates under the delusion that it is the real you? Is cyber immortality a thing? If you are actually dead, is it to be or not to be? That is the question. That really has to be the question. If you want to live on as an AI, well, it doesn't mean that you're not going to die. It just means that there's going to be something that thinks that you, if there is such a thing as a soul in death, to be or not to be.